Herald TV viewers, a warm welcome. You are watching Sports Talkies. We talk about sports, sports-related people, sports personalities, and this time we have the champions, the runners-up of the major football event for women. The scene has been dominated by one club, that's Compassion Football Club, and they belong to an organization called Karuna Football Foundation. They have been on the football scene, but they have been only looking after women and girls. But again, there also, they do not look after every woman and every girl. They are particular to look after a certain section, and we shall see what type of section and whom they are aiming at. We have with us the most important personality, the founder of this foundation and the live wire, to say, of Compassion Football Club, and a very well known personality in the field of football, and none other than Kennedy D'Sousa. Bob Kennedy, माय मोगाचो येवकार तुका.
देव बरें करूं तुकाय आनी हेराल्ड टीव्हीकूय आनी भोव करून ह्या प्रोग्राम स्पोर्ट्स टॉकीजाक.
तशेंच we have with us one of the leaders of this team. She is the captain of Compassion Football Club. She is also part of the organization in the management, a young personality who is growing very well, and it's my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of Herald TV, the one and only captain, and that's Elika D'Sousa. Welcome, Elika.
Thank you, sir.
So, Kennedy, what made you get into women's football, and then you have been selective to select the women who would participate in your organization?
We chose to be with women. First of all, in the family, I have 3 sons. And my wife, Betty D'Silva, who is a former international volleyball player and an athlete, we at the home itself were always feeling, what could we do for women? We started with the football program initially with the underprivileged boys from the streets, slums and orphanages of Goa. However, just prior to the pandemic, we realized that there is much of scope for women's football and girls football because the under-17 World Cup of FIFA was to be held in India and especially in Goa. So we thought that how can we create a legacy towards that initiative of the FIFA under-17 Women's Football Championship that was to take place. So we began humbly. And at that point of time, if I well remember, you were the secretary of the Goa Football Association, and it was the 4th Vedanta Women's Football League that we first time participated in. Though in the first initial matches of that tournament, we got hammered even to the extent of a dozen of goals. But slowly...
And you didn't feel discouraged?
The mission was there that we wanted to promote a legacy. And it takes time for a legacy. You can never expect anything to happen all of a sudden. So from 12 goals, we came down to the least was 5 goals in the later stages of the league. And that encouraged us to see that how can we do better in the next year. There is when we thought about the residential girls academy that we wanted to put up. And fortunately for us, we had the Holy Rosary School in Nuve, the convent school in Nuve, run by the Carmelite sisters, who offered us a place to house the girls. Challenges were aplenty in terms of the things that you need, in terms of logistics, in terms of the finances and so on and so forth. But we took this bold step of saying that let us get into women's football and girls football in particular. Not more of women, but girls football, because it was to do with the legacy of the under-17. And therefore, it began from there. We started on August 15, 2022, the academy at Holy Rosary Convent School. And then from there, we have not looked back now.
So are you still in the Holy Rosary Convent?
Not yet, not now, because it takes a lot differently for a religious organization to handle a sports group of students, you see. And therefore, we had to move to a bungalow now. We are in a bungalow of our own.
So you have an academy now.
Academy. We have
How
our own.
How many girls?
Right now, we have only 9 girls who live with us. Initially, we started with 24. But we have more than 70 girls from different places who come for practices in 3 different groups. We have the women's section, then we have the under 17 girls, and we have the under 14 girls. Today, we even have 11-year-olds and 10-year-old girls who are part of our academy. We also did not only look at the academy as a residence, but we went to far-flung places like Dabar. We went to places in Saurde and to many other places, including Pedne, where we have girls from different places across the hinterland of Goa. We did not try to choose people right from the cities, but from the rural most areas of Goa. So the underprivileged and the marginalized was one side, and the second was on the aspect of the rural areas of Goa. So that is where we started with, and we are now continuing with it, though we have few girls because of our financial resources. But maybe through this interview now, we might get somebody who would come up and say that, well, we would be
You
willing.
never know. You never
Yes,
know.
that's exactly. We would be willing to support you.
But
And
there are people. There are people who I suppose would be willing to help a cause.
certainly, because the girls who come to us, like Fatima Braganza, one of our most important players right now, who is knocking at the doors of the Indian team, was just recently in Indore for the selection trials. She will be anytime be given an entry into the Indian squad. So this girl comes from Sankeli, and if you ask me, she has 3 siblings, her mum and dad, who have only 1,500 rupees a month coming as this thing that comes from the government of Goa. Many times that gets delayed and they have no money to eat as well. But this is the situation with that girl, and most of our girls are from families like that. So if somebody comes and supports us, we will be able to do a better job. So most of our girls are committed because they come from homes like that. And therefore, we are excited, to work with this type of people, because when people come from everything, pot bollele asta, tor kain zaina. When everything is there for people, they won't be able to give their best. But these girls really given their, they give more than 100%. So therefore, that what we are today as champions is because of the commitment from the girls, and definitely not to take away anything from our coaches and the team of the whole management that we've been with.
Yeah. Elika, you have been playing with Compassion. Could you share with us in which tournaments have you played, and where did you reach in these tournaments?
Initially, in the first year, we took part in the Vedanta. It was our first year, so it wasn't that great. We got trashed, like Sir said, the most number of goals, almost 12-0. But that didn't stop us. The next year also we took part. We had some of the girls from the academy that joined us. We performed well. We were 4th that year. Then the following year we took part again. That is this year. We came runners-up.
So you took the 2nd place.
Yes.
It's quite a upliftment.
Big achievement, yes.
Yes.
Then our under-17 girls also took part in the Inspire Cup in Anandpur last year, and they were winners. This year too they went and they were winners again.
Again. So it's a very good performance.
Yes. And then our girls also took part in the Khelo India Under-17 League. They were winners there.
Again.
Again.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
And even our Under-14 girls, they were relatively new, but they too won the league, which was something really great for us.
So you have achieved so much.
Yes, we've come a long way.
Could you tell us the secret of this success?
Secret, I would say that our girls, like Sir said, are committed. Then there is good communication among them. There is love for one another. If someone is back, no one is left behind. Then most of all, we start with prayer, which keeps us united. I would say that is the secret that's holding us together.
Yeah, and you have been the captain of which of these teams? Of all the teams or
No, I've been the captain of the Vedanta team.
the senior team?
Yes, the senior team.
Yeah, and how did you not manage to be the toppers of Vedanta?
In the earlier years, because we did not have that much time for practice, then competition was a lot. The second year, when the academy started, most of our girls were under 17 and we were competing against women players. So that was a challenge. But this year we had a really good team. Everyone came regularly for practice. We put in the efforts and we could say it paid off.
Yeah. And you have been the captain for how long?
I have been the captain, yeah, for the last 3 years.
For last 3 years.
Yes.
So how have you felt the progress is there now, from then to now?
Being part of the team from the initial stage till now, where we were runners up, it feels great because from scratch till now, till what we've achieved, being part, seeing the hard work, that determination that we have to come up and finally achieving it is really great.
Do you feel that you are progressing?
Yes.
And to what do you attribute your progress? The improvement is there.
Yes.
So what is that helps you to improve?
I would say the togetherness and that caring nature that we have for each other, and most importantly, our prayers.
If
Yeah.
I could just join in what you
Yes.
questioned her is, we have Madam Heidi Schunemann, our technical advisor, who came from Germany as a missionary to give us the wisdom, understanding, and because she has been running an academy like ours in Indonesia for 25 long years.
So she lives in Indonesia.
Yeah, she lives in Indonesia, a German woman. But she came during last year when we started with the Girls Residential Academy. She was here with us for 3 months. So her wisdom and her expertise as an UFA technical person who has a license, coaching license. So she brought a lot of this thing to us. Secondly, our coaches who were involved right from the beginning. In fact, Mario Aguiar came to us and joined us as a part of our program. We had Milton Fernandez, who is part of the foundation from the beginning, who has brought a lot of this thing to the table. We had many young people like Prakash Khatri. I call Prakash Khatri as our ambassador of the foundation because he is an orphan boy himself. Who knows nothing about his parents, who has no clue about what life was for him at a young stage, but he's the one who has been completely dedicated to the cause. And let me just say that the thing that has happened is all our girls, they know that they come from very poor backgrounds and they want to lift up the other girls from the kind of background they come from. So they have been committed. There is a girl called Shobali, and Elika is right here in front of me, but Elika has been putting the number of hours of work, not as a captain for the football, but the administration part. Runs to GFA office at every time. Right now she's come from the GFA office and so on and so forth. We have girls like that who have become a part of our program as footballers, but now they're looking after administration. They've completed their D license course. Now they're officially coaches who can go into rural areas and train people. Like Shobali today has about more than 70 girls whom she trains at the Dabal Center. So most of our girls, they have seen a pathway for life through football. So that is where the whole difference is being made. And we see that in the days to come, this is going to be our USB of the compassion, that we want to care for people. And we fully dedicate this to the Lord, that without Him, the divine intervention, we cannot achieve anything.
Nothing is possible.
Nothing is possible. So it's clear cut that if we have raised our bar, it's not because we have done something, but because God has intervened into and heard the prayers of everybody. We meet on Fridays to pray and ask the Lord to just give us that grace, give us benefactors, give us people like you who call us for this interview. and that is the reason that we can actually share the vision to the greater community that is at large. So this is what it is.
So you have been involved in under 14, under 17, anything below that?
We have girls right at the age of 11 and 10, and we want to go right down to the grassroots, because grassroots is where football is all about.
Yes.
And you've been talking about it yourself. We've been, as part of the committee, talking about this for a long time, that unless we don't go down to the grassroots at the 6 and the 7s, just that the kids come and enjoy. They don't come to play technical football, but they just come to love the game, love each other, just feel. There is so much of fatherlessness, in the world today, and that is a big concern. So in our whole group, most of the children look at the coaches and our trainers who are there as fathers, because they've been struggling in their own homes. So that is one of the things that we want to even give these young kids, because many of the kids, their parents are they are laborers, they are migrants, they are from different places. So most of our team members comprise of children who are from that category, and they don't get that love. So when we go and pick them up in the car, bring them, drop them, and all that, it matters. So that is what is making what we are today at this point of time.
Elika, can you share with us what made you to get into football?
I am not that much into football. I'm a hockey player actually.
Is it?
Yes. I play football. In the first year, my higher secondary PE sir asked me whether I would like to come for a football trial. And normally I would have hesitated, but I don't know, something made me say yes. And I went, and I met Sir Kennedy over there for the first time. We spoke for almost an hour. And something convinced me that, okay, I want to play. I played that season, and then somewhere during the training sessions, Sir Kennedy spoke to me saying that, Elika, I see a captain in you, and I want you to lead my team. I took those words to heart, and I was like in my head, okay, Sir is looking at me as the captain of the team. How can I contribute to the team? Then that season we lost really badly, but at the end of the season Sir was like, we shouldn't give up here, this is just the start. Then a few months later, when my board results were out, Sir asked me that he is going to start an academy and whether I would like to join. I wasn't sure, but something inside me was like, I want to go for it. And that's how I'm here now.
Do you regret?
No regrets at all.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. And from which place do you come?
I am actually from Mapsa. I've done my schooling and higher secondary over there. Then I am now studying in Carmels in Novem.
So in the college?
Yes.
Yes.
Because it's closer to the academy.
Yeah.
She's been a hockey player of repute for Goa.
Is it?
Yes. She should be in the national games hockey team, because she's been, I think, at least, you can ask her that question, how many times she has represented hockey for Goa and at different levels.
Yeah, you can share with us.
So I've represented state 8 times. I've taken
8 times?
Yes.
My God.
I've taken part in the Nehru Cup. We went to Delhi when I was in the higher secondary, and recently last year I went with the Goa University team.
So where do you think you'll have better chances, hockey or football?
I'm still figuring that out.
Okay. So and if you are selected in both, what will you do?
I think so I will have higher chances in hockey.
In hockey.
Yes.
So I mean, that's one's choice, and there's nothing to be sorry about.
What I would say is, hockey is her this thing, but even in athletics, she did very well in the 400-meter hurdles event for women.
Okay, so you are also in athletics?
Very much. We are into athletics, we are into volleyball, and we had recently Jitendra Lotlikar, who was the national champion in sprints, who is presently with the railways in Mumbai. He came and shared with us his expertise, and he's going to be a part of our summer coaching camp in the days to come that we're going to have for athletics, for football, and we also have a strong volleyball team. In fact, last night in Kurtori there was a tournament, and we won the this thing
Is it?
in
Is it?
volleyball as well. So our focus is not just on football.
But are this-
Most of the footballers playing and doing athletics.
Okay.
Because they are sports people. They have the fitness, and we want to encourage them to develop their endurance through athletics for football. We want to see that they go hand in hand, because anyway, athletics is the mother of sport.
Yes.
And therefore, we just put them to that, and we actually won the Goa State Athletics Championship this year.
So you are the champions in athletics.
In women's this year.
In women's.
Yes, the
And-
54th Manohar Parrikar athletic meet organized by the Goa Athletic Association. We were the winners, and she won 2 medals there in the 400 meter hurdles and the 100 meter hurdles.
Is it that? You need to be congratulated.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So you are now in football, you are in volleyball, you are in athletics.
Yes, looking towards basketball a little bit, because basketball has really been back in Goa, and we have some people who are really interested in supporting us, like Madam Heidi. We have Dr. Edwin from who was the former director of the IIT Mumbai, and he was my coach. So he's very keen in coming to Goa, staying with us, living at our academy, and developing a girls' team
That's-
in basketball.
That will be a very big push for you.
Yes.
Yes. And Elika, tell us, how do you cope up with all this?
Good question, sir. I have no idea. It's a lot, but I can say I am managing college and being part of the academy, because I haven't failed any exam till now, so I can say I'm managing.
But you are managing pretty
Yes.
well.
Yeah, I could say that.
And you'll continue your studies.
Yes, I will.
You'll never
continue.
give up.
No.
What would be your goal in life?
I want to reach out for girls and like be there. Many a times it is like when girls play sport, especially where girls are concerned, if suppose they have a bad game, very rarely the coach or one of the teammates will go and ask them like, you didn't play your game today, what happened to you, is something wrong?
You shouldn't quit.
Yes. Yes. So I want to be that person who will go and ask like what happened, because it makes a big difference for me.
Yeah.
In fact, she's like the elder sister to the young girls who are there
Is
in the
it?
academy.
Is it?
So whenever they have problems, whether it is physical, whether it is their mental, whether it is something to do with some friends, having the young girls have problems with their friends and all that, they definitely look at her and at Shobali, who are there, who give them the advice, who give them they are like mentors to them. So apart from our mentoring, which is at a different level, the grassroots mentoring is done by Elika.
That's very essential, I would say.
Yes.
At that level, nobody takes it so seriously.
But they're doing that job for us.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it? What made you do all this?
I just had a heart for it. The minute Sir Kennedy spoke to me, I don't know, something struck in me, and it felt like I should go for it. And I have no regrets now. I'm really happy with everything.
And are your parents happy?
They are very happy. They're very supportive.
Yeah.
Her younger sister is Joelle, and she's part of our under-17 team.
Is it?
And she's also an athlete. She's a hockey player as well. But her dad, Cecil, and mum, Bridget, they are like one of the most strongest pillars for our prayer support. They are kind of God-fearing people who really have committed their thing to compassion's prayer time. Every day they see to it that they intercede for all of our girls, for our benefactors and all that. So that has been one of the things that most of our families who are associated with us, they are our prayer partners. So we actually attribute everything to God for all that's happening. We know that for sure. When we even come on the ground and we say that we shout out, most of the teams shout out the name of their team. For normally it would have been Compassion FC, but for us it is not like that. What we do is, can we do it together, Baba?
Whose glory?
His glory.
Whose glory?
His glory.
Whose glory?
His glory.
Who is he?
Jesus.
Okay.
So this is our way of giving glory to God.
Yes.
So this is what we try to make our kids understand that it is about him. Whether they don't need to call Jesus as such, but since we are all in that same frame, most of them coming from the same kind of background, so we are easy and comfortable to say Jesus. But we don't mean that they should compulsorily say Jesus.
You have all Catholic girls, or what is it?
85 to 90% of the girls come from Catholic backgrounds.
Yeah.
Though the migrants, they are also now kind of, they understand what is the whole philosophy and all that.
But then you never make any distinction.
Never. We
They're
have
all-
everybody from every place.
Yes. And Elika, you tell me, how was your performance at Vedanta this year? Because you have lost, I think, one game, or what is
One
it?
game. We
Yeah,
lost.
can you elaborate a little bit on this year's Vedanta?
This year's Vedanta was really good. I think so the only match we lost was against Churchill, which was 3-0. Then we took it to heart that the next game has to come back stronger, and then the next game we drew.
Okay,
Which was
so the
very-
first one you lost.
Yes.
And the second leg you
We
have
drew.
drawn.
We
So
drew.
that's a good performance.
Yes.
What did you do to raise the performance?
To raise the performance, I think so our players needed a harder determination, because I think so the first game they already had in mind we are playing against Churchill.
So it's a
And-
tough team.
Yes. So the second match we went in that we have to do something to make up for the previous game. We have to go in harder.
And you succeeded.
Yes, and we succeeded.
Yes, you have drawn. You have drawn the
Yes,
second
we
game,
do.
which is absolutely good. So what are your plans now, Kennedy?
We are looking for the summer coaching camp. As I would just like to share with you, we finished day before yesterday during the International Women's Day. We had a program for the senior masters footballers from Goa. In fact, Madam Elika D'Sousa, the former legendary Goan footballer, she was the chairperson of this committee that we had. She's been associated with us and even contributes towards, from every painting that she sells, there is a small amount that comes
That's
to
nice. That's
to us. That's her contribution. So we had this women's event that happened. 67-year-old Ritina Pereira participated in that tournament that
She's a
happened. Former international player. But we had teams from Karnataka, we had teams from Kerala, from Tamil Nadu, from Maharashtra and Goa, of course. But we also were expecting teams to come all the way from Bengal, from Manipur and Delhi, and the Indian Railways team. Indian Railways team had some issues about their official getting their permissions from their offices. But with Manipur and all, we told them it's too far for them to travel all the way to Goa for a 2-day thing. So we asked them not to come this time, but they would definitely be joining us. So we are not only with the girls, but we want the grandmothers who played in that tournament, their daughters, to come and play football. That's the way we want to encourage the ecosystem of football. There were mothers, and especially the YFA Supermoms team, which has all their kids playing in football. So they were a part of that program. So like that, we've been working with the entire spectrum of the female community. So right from the grassroots, right to the masters at 67, which means that we are involved with women's football. We want to take this to another level by organizing our summer coaching camps, not in Goa only, but we're taking our team to Anantapur again, because it's a huge academy, and we'll be having our coaches from La Liga, Fundusao, who are part of the Anantapur Sports Academy, who will train our girls. We will have Madam Heidi Shunuman coming again.
She
Travels. She keeps coming every year to share her expertise and with her wisdom that she brings in to the table. We are looking at many more young women as, interns to come and join us, so that we can take this to another level.
So, in other words, it is growing.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's very important. That's very important. So, I think you have a long future ahead. You have a good plan, and we wish you all the best. May you bring in more glory, and you may raise the level of your determination to achieve newer, greater, grand heights. Thank you very much, Kennedy, and also young Elika. All the best for the future.
Thank you to the Herald TV. Thank you to Jovid Bab for your calling us to be a part of this program.
It's a pleasure. It's always a
yes,
pleasure. Thank you very
so
much.
Thank you so much. Just to all our viewers, if you can come and help us in any ways, please do so. We are looking forward to any kind of help, in kind, whatever it may be. You just want to pray for us, just do that, and we would be grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.